Hey everyone, I'm Bill. I'm with Cali Moto TV. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the garage where we have the Ducati still on the lift. And oh boy, you guys, we have the brand new super light chain and sprocket quick change kit on the Ducati. But today, if you guys haven't seen that, we'll link it up above now. But today we're going to be walking through your chain adjustment and getting this thing properly adjusted and properly done up. So you guys are going to need just a few things. I've got some torque specifications. If you guys are adjusting your current chain, you guys will want to clean it. I like to use Motool's chain clean, and I use the Motool Road chain lube. You guys are going to need, I believe this is a 8mm hex socket. You're going to need some type of chain adjustment tool. I got this courtesy of motowheels.com. They gave me this to get this adjusted for the Superlight. And you're going to need your torque wrench. But let's just pop into this real quick. It's super simple to do. It's not that hard. Let's go ahead and get this camera mounted and get a nice angle so you guys can see this and step by step on how to adjust your chain on your Streetfighter. All right, guys, so I wanted to tell you just what I found on the old YouTube on measuring the chain and the distance. So Ducati recommends apparently from the swing arm, underneath the swing arm, that the chain only has 1 inch of travel. Now, if we get this ruler in here, you'll see that we're about 1.5 inches. It wants the chain to be at 1 inch. To me, it seems a little bit tight. That does seem loose, but let's go ahead and get it adjusted. But I did want to show you guys real quick and understand that the spec for Ducati is that this sits at 1 inch with the bike down off the center stand. As you guys can see here, I've got it off the center stand. So we are basically all the weight is on the bike. So let's go ahead and get this thing on the center stand, and we'll get it adjusted and then we'll remeasure. All right, guys, so the two 8mm pinch bolts are here and here, which you want to just loosen those. You don't need to remove them completely. Obviously, you need to loosen them enough that the bolts are loose, and get them both loose. Now, once we have them completely loose here, now you're going to see in here, you're going to see these little marks right here. And we're going to take our little tool and we're going to get right in here and we're going to pull this towards us, just about a little turn. So make sure we're loose. Okay, now I don't know if you guys saw it, but the chain instantly tightened. Okay, so we're going to push down to tighten, pull up to loosen. So we're going to check the slack, and I can already tell, like, that was just so, that was like, it was so much so quick. So let's go ahead and just go a teeny bit looser. And I'm going to check the slack here. And I'm going to measure it just with the weight off of it, because we're just almost at about 1.25 inches, but it's actually where I like it as a normal. So let's go ahead, and we might need to go back and forth, but let's go ahead and get the pinch bolts re-tightened. We don't need to torque them yet. We will obviously re-torque them, but let's go ahead and tighten this so nothing moves. Just snug enough. Get it up off the rear stand. So it's on a rear stand right now. You definitely want to have it on a rear stand. Snug. And let's go ahead and pull it off the rear stand and check our slack. All right, so we'll get this thing pulled off the rear stand. And we just want to get a little bit of weight on it. So what I'm going to do is just pull a little bit down on the tail, just to kind of simulate a little bit of weight. Then we're going to get in here and we're going to check this slack. You can see it's a little bit better. And just in here, and we're at about 1 1/8 inches is where it is. So I'm going to go a tad tighter. I'm going to put it up and go one more tight, and I think I'm gonna like that. All right, and let's get our final measurement. I think I'm gonna dig this one. Let's get a little zoomed in so you guys can kind of see where we're at. So right on the bottom, they want an inch. So we're just about, it's pretty tough depending on, so I'm going to I'm not using the guard, so there's a guard under there. So you'll notice where the guard hits. So I'm going to the frame and it's just above it, but I like that slack. It's got a little slack to it and I'm a little weighty. So let's go ahead and get it torqued up, and that's it. That's how simple it is. All right, so we've got it back off the stand and we're gonna go ahead and torque these. We are at 35 Newton meters for these torque specs, or 25 pound-feet. So we're gonna go ahead and I've got 25 on the torque, and we're gonna get it a little bit tight there, a little bit tight here, and then we'll torque it away. And that's it, clickety click. And clickety click, and that's it. We're all set up, all nice and good. Let's go ahead and get this thing off the tripod and take a look. And actually, you know, I'm going to go through the cleaning for you guys real quick and a chain lube. So let's get it back on the stand and do a quick little mock cleaning and chain lube. All right, guys, so again, I use the Motul Clean Chain. Usually what I recommend is make sure you're in neutral. Give this thing a good little spray, so we'll, okay, go all the way around. I've got my little three-sided brush I like to use. I'm gonna stick it right in there and give it a quick little push around. Make sure it's nice and clean. Then what I do is I get a nice clean rag and I dry it completely off. This will get all the loose gook off of it, okay? I'll run this around a couple times. And then what I do is I like to get all the nice and chain and sprocket and everything nice and clean. Watch your fingers when you're rolling the wheel around, because you don't want to get your fingers stuck in here, right? So please be careful. But we're gonna get it nice and clean. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our lube, again, Motul. I like to use the Road lube. I don't like to use wax because the wax kind of flings it all around. And then what I do is I just get it nice and positioned so we get a nice little spray. And then I spray and all the way around. I get about 2 full rotations on the thing. And that's it. Now, I'll take my rag again. I'll spray it with a little bit of clean. And obviously all that lube just got on the wheel, so I give it a quick little wash on the wheel just to make sure that there's no excess on there. All back here, get that all nice and clean. And what I'll do is I'll run this through and just make sure it's nice and clean through there. And voila, you are chained, lubed, and adjusted. All right, guys, and just like that, we are lubed and chain adjusted. Very, very simple. Make sure you got the right tools, 8mm in that adjuster. I'll link everything down below of what I use and how I did it. But pretty simple. So keep on your chain, guys. There's no reason not to. Plus it looks gross when you got a gross looking chain. So keep it clean, keep it lubed. But I promise you guys in the last video that I'll get you guys a cold start. Sorry, I wasn't quite done. So this is the version, this is the Panigale version aero exhaust. It is not tuned yet. I know, it's coming, but just sounds absolutely amazing. So my only issue with the bike and how it runs is right now, it kind of takes a little bit to kind of level out. Once the bike is done, a lot of you guys ask if the bike is tuned. It's not tuned right now. But once it levels out, it's perfect. There's no problem. There's no issues. Get a few flames out of this side every once in a while. But absolutely love this exhaust. I would give it wouldn't give it up for anything. So thanks for sticking around for the chain adjustment video. If you guys haven't seen the sprocket and the new chain video, I'll link that up above. But thank you guys for sticking around. Thanks for hanging out in the garage on a beautiful Sunday with me. And we'll see you guys next video. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, comment down below if you guys got any questions. Hopefully I did this right. Correct me if I'm wrong. I always like to be kind of corrected if it's not nitpicky, so don't be nitpicky. But everything is good. We're ready to roll. We're going to go out for a ride, so stay tuned. Thank you guys for sticking around. We'll see you next video. Bye, guys.